This Fleet Equipment Unscripted interview is presented by Hendrickson, a leading manufacturer of heavy-duty suspension systems and components to the global commercial transportation industry. Visit hendrickson-intl.com to learn more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Morgan, editor of Fleet Equipment, and welcome to Fleet Equipment Unscripted. Today, we're talking with Kevin Aries, head of global product success for Verizon Connect. Kevin, great to catch up with you again.
Hey, good to see you, Jason. Thanks for having me.
So the other day, we talked with a customer of yours, Chris Poole at KRP Rentals and Trucking, and we walked through his experience on transitioning because of the 3G sunset, right? Getting onto new hardware, getting all the platform and all the data from his assets all connected. So glad to connect with you here and follow up to get the experience from the Verizon Connect side, right? So let's kick us off here. You're an old pro. You've done this a couple of times, so we'll just jump into it here. One of the interesting things that Chris had mentioned, and everyone can go back and watch that episode. We have a two-parter here. Was that he really wasn't aware of the 3G sunset until Verizon Connect reached out, gave him a call, and said, "Hey, by the way, this network is going to sunset. We need to get your assets on some new hardware here." How has that experience been on that Verizon Connect side? Is that a typical experience and thought from fleets when you're calling them? How much do they know about the problem? And for anyone watching this, what do they need to know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Jason. You know, it actually is a common reaction. And the reason why is one of the benefits of Verizon Connect is that you don't have to worry a whole lot about the technology that's under the hood. Verizon Connect has designed an experience that makes it so you're really focused on the benefits and outcome of the technology that you're getting rather than the technology itself. And so it's a little bit by design that our customers don't always understand, the specific mechanics behind their mobile workforce systems, simply because it's just an enabler to ultimately what the benefits they're going to get out of it. So certainly some of our customers do need a little bit of education on the benefits of 4G LTE, but customers like Chris, they hear from us, they're ready to listen, and ultimately they understand that there's a piece of hardware that needs an upgrade into the new generation, and they're happy to work with us and ultimately get the latest and greatest so that they can keep their business up and running and their vehicles on the road.
Yeah, the proactive reaching out on the Verizon Connect side was really cool to hear. It's a complicated issue, and I mean, to be fair, fleets are busy running their businesses, making sure their equipment's getting what they're going. We've seen the freight market and how crazy it's going right now. Yeah. It's easy to forget about the details, but they're super, super important because you don't want to lose connectivity. So once you've reached out to someone, Chris mentioned that hardware swapping in and out is really easy. It took him a couple minutes, I think, per hardware swap out. Not a big deal, but his operation was also kind of conducive to equipment being around. It kind of was returning to the base whenever it could come in. He could put the new hardware in. What do you recommend for other operations? Let's say fleets are running longer routes over the roads. How long would an over the road long haul application take to roll out hardware?
Sure. Yeah. So, you're right. Every business is different in the way that they operate and the way that they move their people, vehicles, and equipment around their territories can really differ, which is part of the reason why we've really designed a highly flexible migration program where customers can really work closely with us and determine on their own terms when, where, and how they want to upgrade their equipment. And so we come across industries, for instance, that are in their busy season, particularly maybe an HVAC company in the peak of summer where everyone's looking to have their air conditioners tuned up, or a landscaping company, or whatever it may be. And so we're listening to that feedback, and we're giving them the opportunity to control when and where they want to do their hardware upgrade. And so the experience for them, they get an opportunity to decide whether they want to do a self-install or a professional installation. In the case of self-install, we're literally sending our latest 4G LTE vehicle data devices right to their doorstep. They're able to quickly unbox them. We've provided a complete mobile experience so that they can follow along with the installation instructions right from the palm of their hands. They go ahead and they swap out that hardware. It's not more than a handful of minutes to go ahead and do that. We know that any amount of time, even a minute, impacts some of our customers' business. And so our number one priority, as it always is getting those vehicles and equipment back on the road or back on the job site and keeping them there.
So when you're putting the new hardware in the trucks, is there an activation process? How do I go about making sure that this new piece of hardware knows that it's this truck that I have historical data on? How do you make those connections?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of that mobile experience is we're offering a barcode scanner that actually allows you to hold the mobile device up to into your vehicle data device, which ultimately recognizes the specific unit that you're putting in the vehicle. That way, our systems know exactly what piece of vehicle or equipment you're working with, and then we can ultimately plot the right vehicle and equipment in the right spot on the map and surface the right data and exactly where you expect it.
Very cool. So, it's funny, Verizon Connect, you have the network namesake, right? And you think about cell phones and everyone says the truck's the rolling cell phone. Well, when my cell phone upgrade comes, it's an exciting thing. New hardware is fun. It lets me do new stuff. It's got the latest and greatest. Is that true here in the truck world? If I plug a new device in, what kind of features can I be looking at taking advantage of? What's the next step in terms of the solutions you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So a 4G LTE brings a lot of nice benefits and surprises to customers. First one is really around availability. So 4G LTE is particularly strong geographically in rural areas. This allows a business to really expand where they can do their business, maybe even take jobs where they never dreamt of even operating because the reliability of the connection is so much stronger. So that's really important for a business, particularly like KRP, to operate in some of these really remote areas. In KRP Trucking and Rentals case, the remote lands of Texas and the oil and rigging industry there. The second is really around reliability. So we're talking about high bandwidth, higher throughput, faster speeds. This is obviously really important. So customers can get that real-time data. So whether we're talking about routing, scheduling, safety data, all of this is really critical to those businesses' operations. And so to have an accurate, reliable data points around that is going to be critical. And then the last part is really around compatibility with the latest technology. And so from Verizon Connect's view, that means taking advantage of our latest 4G LTE vehicle data device, which now actually gives our customers 3 times more the amount of location data that they were getting before. So they're getting location every 30 seconds, which is a huge improvement and obviously critical for businesses who need a near real-time view of their vehicles and equipment. And we're also able to offer things like diagnostic trouble codes that come directly from what's called the OBD2 port, the plug-in area right near the steering wheel. So we're collecting some of that data, which will give them information like your check engine light or your oil light and notifications. And so those are just some of the benefits that Verizon Connect provides. But it also gives you entryway into a 4G LTE family of products. And so compatibility with products can mean things like dash cams or other safety systems in the future. And so being part of the 4G LTE family of hardware, it's going to give you that ability to really harness the future and the power of mobile workforce technology in the years ahead.
For sure, and one thing that I want to check on clarification wise, because I'm a data nerd. I'm a fan of it, so I can always use more data. But I know fleets. I mean, when you say it's quicker, you're getting it more. I feel like the keyword is real time, right? Location data. It's not that you're getting a ping on your phone or your email as a fleet manager letting you know what's happening every 30 seconds. It's that you can actually see the difference, right? Instead of your vehicle or asset jumping from here to here on the map, you see it moving. Is that accurate? Fair?
Yeah, absolutely. There are businesses out there that they really want a near real-time view of what's happening in the field. That can be because of safety concerns around understanding where their crews are operating in. It can be related to productivity and efficiency, making sure that their workforces are getting from one job site to the next. And so, yeah, I mean, the benefits are really tangible, and to your point, visual. Just imagine being able to do a replay of a piece of equipment or a vehicle on a map, and actually, seeing the specific route that it took on the roadways of a community, rather than to what you were saying, where it feels like some of those assets are jumping around from location to location. That's not an experience that we want to provide anyone. So the combination of a reliable 4G LTE network combined with mobile workforce technology, it makes for a really great, a complete context of what's happening out in the field or on the road.
Right, and especially, I mean, I know you mentioned in-cab video, and in-cab video is always one of the more read topics on fleet right now. We're really seeing a lot of interest there. I mean, that's only possible with the speeds that the 4G LTE brings, right? You're not going to do this on older hardware. You're not going to be able to stream that video as nicely and as succinctly as you can with 4G LTE. So if you want that, that's definitely a good reason to upgrade.
Yeah, 100%. Video, and 4G LTE are a good pairing, to say the least. It's obviously it's tremendous context visually for companies to see either what's happening on the road in the event of a harsh driving incident, or more importantly, what's happening behind the wheel, and what are those drivers' actions from a safety perspective. So to have that data be reliable and high quality is obviously gonna help a lot.
Right, for sure. Kevin, I appreciate you helping me on my video project here. Definitely important to us. It was great catching up to you. I'm sure I'll talk to you again soon.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Jason.